Dulce et Decorum Est by Wilfred Owen. Bent double, like old beggars in the sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An exit fumbling, feeding the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or life. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. You know my dreams before my helpless sight. He plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon we flung him in, and watch the wide eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every chant the blood come gargling from the frost-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cut of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, Dulce et Decorum Est, pro patria mori.
The poem I just recited was written by Wilfred Owen, a young British soldier killed in 1918, just 1 week before the armistice, that is, the end of the First World War. The title of the poem, which is also its ending lines, was taken from the full Latin saying, Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori, which means it is sweet and proper to die for one's country. This poem tells of the first-hand account of combat, of the brutality and carnage of the First World War through the eye of a British soldier. Today, we'll take a look at the same war but through the eye of a soldier on the other side, the German side, by reviewing this book, All Quiet on the Western Front, by Erich Maria Remarque. This particular copy was published by the Random House Publishing Group, first edition in 1958, second edition 1975. So if you are familiar with history, you will know that these marks the end of several wars that the US were in. I took this from a yard sale. It used to belong to the San Diego County Library, 2005. So this one is a very nice find, and I'll let you borrow it if you come here and ask me nicely, okay? But without further ado, let's begin. This book follows the footsteps of a young German soldier called Paul Beamer. I'm pretty sure I butchered his German pronunciation, so please bear with me. We'll call him Paul from now on for short. He was only 20 years old at the end of the book. However, he already witnessed numerous deaths of his closest friends, comrades, and been through many battles, received many injuries. Spoiler alert, he definitely lived to witness the end of the First World War, the armistice. However, that fact doesn't make this book any less tragic, only even more so. So halfway through the book, after very luckily survived a hard battle on the French front, he received a temporary leave to go home and see his family once more before being dispatched to the battlefield again. You would think that this is a happy moment for them. No, definitely not. And I quote, I was a soldier, and now I am nothing but an agony for myself, for my mother, for everything that is so comfortless and without end. I ought never to have come on leave. On one occasion, he went on a scouting mission and was caught between enemy fire and friendly fire. He had to stay down in the trench for almost 2 days, and during that time, an enemy soldier came down, so in order to protect himself, Paul had to kill that man with his very own hand. And this is what Paul said to that man while watching him die. Comrade, I did not want to kill you. If you jumped in here again, I would not do it if you would be sensible too. But you were only an idea to me before, an abstraction that lived in my mind and called forth its appropriate response. It was the abstraction I stabbed. But now, for the first time, I see you are a man like me. I thought of your hand grenades, of your bayonet, of your rifle. Now I see your wife and your face and our fellowship. Forgive me, comrade. We always see it too late. Why did they never tell us that you are poor devils like us? That your mother is just as anxious as ours? And that we have the same fear of death, and the same dying, and the same agony. Forgive me, comrade. How could you be my enemy? If we threw away these rifles and this uniform, you could be my brother, just like Cat and Albert. Take 20 years of my life, comrade, and stand up. Take more, for I do not know what I can even attempt to do with it now. And that's not crocodile tears, not comforting words somebody said to someone else after he killed him. No. Those are his genuine thoughts and feelings. This book, this author is very anti-war, and I quote, "True, but just you consider, almost all of us are simple folk. And in France too, the majority of men are laborers, workmen, or poor clerks. Now just why would a French blacksmith or a French shoemaker want to attack us? No, it is merely the rulers. I had never seen a French man before I came here, and it will just be the same with the majority of Frenchmen as regards us. They weren't asked about it any more than we were." And then, just a couple pages back, it's queer when one thinks about it. We are here to protect our fatherland, and the French are over there to protect their fatherland. Now who's in the right? Perhaps both. Yes, well now. But how professors and parsons and newspapers say that we are the only ones that are in the right. And let's hope so. But the French professors and parsons and newspapers say that the right is on their side. Now what about that? Nowadays, with years and decades of retrospection, we could kind of sort of identify who's right and who's wrong in the war. And even so, there's too much debate going on about each and every war there is. Still, what about the people at the moment fighting the battle, killing and dying and seeing other people die all around him for no good reason? They need a good reason. They need to turn the other side into monster. The other side who are just people just like them. 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 feet, breathing, eating, talking, loving. And they have to turn these people into monster in order to kill the other side. If not, they will go insane. And on the battlefield, there's no glory to be found, no honor to seek. There's just death. Body parts, friends and enemies alike, strewn across the battlefield, indistinguishable from one another, save for the occasional uniform. And then there are rats, corpse rats, grown so fat from eating the corpses of men, French and Germans and Russians alike, stealing whatever little food the men have, from moldy bread to spoiled cheese. The harbinger of death, they devour everything and everyone that's left after a battle. And then there's this constant hunger. Hunger that keeps you awake at night. Hungers that nags you to go and kill and murder and steal and everything in between just so you can eat a little bit better. And then there are fears. Fear of the darkness of the trenches. Fear of the hissing sound of gas shells. fear of the rattling sounds of the machine guns, of the lightning and thunder of artillery shells. The fear of death. That is the most powerful fear of all. That is what keeps the men fighting and not running away, because they know that the moment they run away, they'll be killed by the other side. It's either kill or be killed. And if they don't want to die, they have to kill. That is what keeps the men fighting. Not honor, not glory, not even the fatherland, but the fear of death. Death is the common theme throughout the book. Every few pages, a man dies. Nameless soldiers of both sides, privates, sergeants, friends or foes, it doesn't matter. Death came for them all. Pigs and chickens and even rats are slaughtered to fill the belly of man. Even back home, far away from the bombings and the shellings and the brutality of war, Paul's mother had cancer and had to go under the knife. And she likely wouldn't survive to see the end of the war, to see Paul's return. And yet, despite all the deaths around him, despite all the odds that stacked against him, Paul survived to see the end of the First World War, to see the armistice, to return to his hometown. But for what? A great irony, much like how this book is called All Quiet on the Western Front. But the readers reading this book for the entirety of it, they won't find a peace nor quiet. The great irony that is war. So it is understandable that at the end of the book, Paul has become an empty shell of a human being. He felt like his life has been taken away from him. Although he's still living and breathing, he felt no hope. I quote, "I stand up. I am very quiet. Let the months and the years come. They can take nothing from me. They can take nothing more. I am so alone and so without hope that I can confront them without fear. The light that has borne me through these years is still in my hands and in my eyes. Whether I have subdued it, I know not. But so long as it is there, it will seek its own way out, heedless of the will that is within me." But most important of all is the idea behind this book. The idea that the senseless sufferings caused by wars spare no one saved for the very people who wage wars in the first place. The idea that there's no glory to be found in wars, and that those who tell you otherwise are the very people who benefit from it. That is the greatest war novel of all time, All Quiet on the Western Front by Erich Maria Remarque. Hey guys, again, thank you for listening to me rambling throughout the video. Anyway, I do think that this book is an excellent book, a must read if I do say so myself, especially for us young people who have never been in a war before, so that we can understand the brutality, the senselessness of wars, and that we should avoid it if at all possible. One last thing, I have also prepared the text version of this review, as well as a review for the poem Dulce at Decorum Est, the one that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So if you want those two, comment down below, leave your email addresses, I'll send them to you. Alright? Don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, feel free to add me. My name's Minh. Thank you for watching. Minh Dạo.